should have kicked that boy when last year. If T.I. would have kicked that boy last year, that boy wouldn't have had to jack him up today.
Charleston White recently stirred up controversy after speaking out about King Harris and his heated exchange involving 50 Cent. According to White, the situation could have been avoided if T.I. had handled his son's behavior earlier. White argued that if T.I. had disciplined King the previous year, the young rapper would not have escalated things the way he did. His comments came after King Harris publicly disrespected 50 Cent while defending his mother, Tiny Harris. The situation quickly turned into a larger conversation about family loyalty, generational conflict, and long-standing hip-hop rivalries. To understand how things reached this point, it is important to look back at the long history between T.I. and 50 Cent. Their rivalry began nearly 2 decades ago, around 2007. During an interview on Hot 97, 50 Cent questioned the idea of anyone declaring themselves the king of hip-hop. Many listeners interpreted that comment as a direct shot at T.I., who had been calling himself the King of the South after releasing his 2006 album King. The tension grew stronger later that year when 50 Cent appeared at a concert where T.I. was performing alongside major artists like Jay-Z and Kanye West. Their feud deepened in 2008 when T.I. faced federal gun charges. Although he had originally been facing decades in prison, he ultimately received a 1-year sentence. Around that time, 50 Cent released a track with G-Unit that referenced the case and questioned how someone connected to 10 machine guns could end up serving only 12 months. The lyrics fueled rumors and whispers within hip-hop circles about whether T.I. had cooperated with authorities, something T.I. strongly rejected. The tension continued over the years. In 2010, T.I. and his wife Tiny Harris were arrested on drug charges involving substances resembling ecstasy. T.I. served another prison sentence after violating parole. Once again, 50 Cent commented publicly, questioning why Tiny did not take responsibility for the situation. T.I. later responded in an interview, saying no one in his family would ever be pressured to take a charge for someone else. Eventually, in 2011, the two rappers quietly settled their issues through a phone call arranged by mutual friends. For a while, the conflict seemed to fade. However, the rivalry resurfaced in 2020 when T.I. challenged 50 Cent to participate in a versus battle. T.I. believed their catalogs were evenly matched and repeatedly pushed for the event. 50 Cent responded mostly with jokes and trolling on social media rather than seriously entertaining the idea. The discussion continued for months, with both artists trading comments online and in interviews, but the battle never happened. By 2026, the tension returned again. In early February, T.I. appeared on the Nightcap podcast and once more accused 50 Cent of avoiding the versus battle. 50 quickly responded on social media by posting old footage related to T.I.'s legal history and implying that T.I. had cooperated with authorities in the past. The post reignited old accusations and pushed the feud back into public conversation. Things escalated further when 50 Cent shared an unflattering image of Tiny Harris online. T.I. responded angrily in the comments, and soon their back and forth drew the attention of T.I.'s son, King Harris. The 21-year-old jumped into the situation on Instagram, fiercely defending his mother. In doing so, he made a controversial decision that shocked many fans. King referenced 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who died in 1983 when 50 was only 8 years old. King posted an image of her gravesite and mocked the situation, telling 50 to show respect for his own mother. The comment immediately intensified the conflict. 50 Cent's mother's death has long been known as one of the most traumatic events in his life, and many people felt King's remarks crossed a serious line. Rather than responding with music, 50 Cent handled the situation the way he often does, through social media trolling. He posted memes, compared King to cartoon characters, and shared embarrassing childhood photos of him. Instead of releasing a diss track, 50 relied on humor and online content to keep the conversation going. While the internet debated the situation, T.I. and his sons responded musically. T.I. released multiple tracks that appeared to target 50 Cent, including songs like War, The Right One, and Lessons. King Harris also released his own track and even appeared in a video wearing a shirt featuring 50 Cent's late mother's image. The move drew both support and criticism from fans and other artists. Rick Ross, who has his own long-running feud with 50 Cent, publicly supported King and joked that he wanted the same shirt. Amid all of this drama, Charleston White entered the conversation with his own strong opinions. In several live streams and posts, White argued that King Harris should never have been involved in the feud in the first place. According to White, this was a dispute between two veteran rappers who had been arguing for nearly 20 years. A younger family member jumping in only made the situation worse. White also criticized T.I. as a father. He said King's behavior reflected a lack of discipline and claimed that the young rapper had been acting out for years without consequences. White pointed to previous incidents involving King, including public confrontations and viral videos where he clashed with employees or argued with his parents in public. From White's perspective, the latest controversy was simply the result of a pattern that had gone unchecked. To emphasize his point, White did something controversial himself. After King mocked 50 Cent's late mother, White responded by posting a photo of T.I.'s deceased sister. His reasoning was that once someone brings a dead family member into a feud, no one's relatives are off limits anymore. Many people criticized White for escalating the situation further, while others said he was simply exposing the hypocrisy of those who supported King but condemned him. Charleston White is a polarizing figure with a complicated background. He is a social media personality, comedian, and activist from Fort Worth, Texas. As a teenager, he was involved in a robbery that led to a fatal shooting, though he later cooperated with authorities and served time in juvenile detention. In adulthood, he earned a degree in criminal justice and helped start a nonprofit organization focused on mentoring at-risk youth. However, he is also known for making controversial statements and provoking public figures online. White claimed that he had connections with 50 Cent and members of G-Unit behind the scenes. He even joked that 50 should tag him in like a wrestling partner if things escalated further. Whether those claims were serious or simply part of his online persona is unclear, but they added another layer of attention to the situation. The conflict involving King Harris also fit into a larger pattern of drama surrounding 50 Cent. Throughout 2025 and 2026, he had ongoing issues with several figures in hip-hop and entertainment, including Rick Ross, Jim Jones, and individuals connected to the Black Mafia family story. Rather than releasing diss records, 50 often used social media posts, memes, and leaked footage to embarrass his rivals. This strategy has become part of his public persona. While other artists respond with music, 50 Cent frequently dominates conversations through online trolling. By posting screenshots, jokes, and old clips, he keeps attention focused on himself without engaging in traditional rap battles. Public reaction to the feud was sharply divided. Some fans believed King Harris was right to defend his mother and stand up for his family. Others argued that bringing up someone's deceased parent crossed an unacceptable line in hip-hop culture. Social media discussions became intense, with thousands of comments debating whether loyalty to family justified such extreme disrespect. At the same time, T.I. used the attention to promote his upcoming album Kill the King, which he described as his final project before retiring from music. The controversy surrounding the feud helped generate publicity for the release, and one of the singles managed to reach the Billboard charts, marking his highest solo chart position in years. As the drama unfolded, it became clear that the conflict was not just about music. It reflected deeper issues involving family, legacy, and reputation. For T.I., the situation involved defending his wife and managing his son's public behavior. For 50 Cent, it was another chapter in his long history of highly publicized feuds. And for Charleston White, it was an opportunity to voice his blunt perspective on discipline, accountability, and respect. Whether the feud will eventually cool down or continue escalating remains uncertain. What is clear is that the situation has sparked intense debate across hip-hop communities about where the boundaries should be when personal attacks involve family members, especially those who are no longer alive.